Wildlife traditionally refers to undomesticated animal species, but has come to include all organisms that grow or live wild in an area without being introduced by humans. Why is there a need to protect wildlife? By protecting and conserving wildlife, we are ensuring that future generations can enjoy the natural world, the incredible species that live within it. Threats to wildlife. The illegal wildlife trade is the fourth largest criminal industry in the world, after drugs, arms, and human trafficking. Gathering in over $20 billion in a year, it is also one of the biggest threats to some of the most iconic species on the planet, like the rhinoceros and elephant. Habitat destruction is the process by which a natural habitat becomes incapable of supporting its native species. The organisms that previously inhabited the site are displaced or dead. It is the leading cause of biodiversity loss. Invasive species. They are one of the leading threats to native wildlife, putting 42% of threatened or endangered species at risk. There are 500 times more pieces of microplastic in the sea than there are stars in our galaxy. 800 million tons of plastic are dumped into the ocean each year that cause pollution. Climate change. From more regular to fiercer storms to more prolonged and more intense droughts, the impact of climate change is rising ocean temperature and diminishing Arctic sea ice. The answer to those problems and threats to wildlife is the RA 9147, otherwise known as the Wildlife Resources, Conservation and Protection Act. It is an act providing for the conservation and protection of wildlife resources and their habitats. RA 9147 has four objectives. It is to conserve and protect wildlife species and their habitats, to promote ecological balance and enhance biological diversity. It is to regulate the collection and trade of wildlife. It is to pursue, with due regard to the national interest, the Philippine commitment to the international conventions, protection of wildlife and their habitats, and it is to initiate or support scientific studies on the conservation of biological diversity. All illegal acts that are done to all wildlife, which includes inflicting injury, killing, destroying wildlife species, dumping of waste products, occupying any portion of the critical habitat, mineral exploration such as burning, illegal logging, or unauthorized quarrying, trading of wildlife, hunting of wildlife, and transporting of wildlife. Under RA 9147, the penalty depends not only on the act committed but also on the conservation status of the wildlife. The highest penalties are imposed on those guilty of killing critically endangered wildlife. Jail term of 6 years and 1 day to 12 years. And or payment of fine ranging from 100,000 pesos to 1 million pesos. Today, the country truly had many benefits from the RA 9147. Several areas around our country has been protected. Their natural beauty has been maintained for a long time, and that is something we must be grateful of because this law is successfully implemented. We must not destroy our homeland. We can strive greater heights without destroying the natural beauty of our environment. It is because wildlife gives us many benefits. They keep the food chain flowing. They bring joy to us. They cleanses our soul, and basically without them, the world won't go round the way it used to be. Everything that we are enjoying comes from the natural environment, so we must not destroy it. After all, we only have one planet. We benefit all of our survival needs into it. So, let's give the same love that we shared and wanted to our environment, to our planet. Humanity can no longer stand by in silence while our wildlife are being used, abused, and exploited. It is time we all stand together to be the voice of the voiceless before it's too late, because extinction means forever.
Save our planet.
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 Save our planet.